Hello and welcome to another episode of the Patriot Brothers. I'm your producer, host, and Patriot brother Zachary Smouse, and with me are your Patriot brothers Duke Boynton and Terry Rattle. I just want to start off by saying that we all have voices no matter what your outer physical appearance looks like. I'm so sick of this keeping silent just because we don't agree with you. By the way, I dropped the link in the comments if anyone wants to join us.
That's right.
Absolutely.
And like, subscribe, and share. Helps keep the movement going. Stay the course.
Absolutely.
Stay the course. Got to do it. Got to do it. Zach, always appreciate your introductions, man. And Terry, again, always love having you on here. It's a good brotherhood. So
Absolutely.
always good conversation pieces here. Hang loose. Hang 10.
Yeah.
Stay loose. However the Hawaiians do it. I know the hand motions. Right on. So with our topic that we're talking about today is, how much America now is resembling Bolshevik Russia in 1914 when the Bolsheviks took over Russia. And I've touched on this point a couple times before. And the one thing that the Bolsheviks did was they got their hands inside the Russian government and started dictating policies towards the Russian people. And it got uglier and uglier and uglier as time went on. And we're starting to see that now, especially with these the big tech folks out there. Man, the Bolsheviks have their hands, their fingers already intertwined with the government, or what we call a government, and dictating to us American people exactly what we can and cannot say. And to be honest with you, no bueno, senor, senorita. I'm not up to that. I'm not okay with that. And at some point in time, folks like us, Terry, you could tell me too, when is it okay? That's right. When is it okay for us to be silenced? And to be quite honest with you, never.
No, you always have to have an opinion.
Right. It could be good or bad.
What do I always tell you guys? Opinions are like assholes. Everybody has them and they all stink. So we get that out of the way right away, and you can actually have a civilized conversation with people, right?
That's right. Scott, good evening, buddy. Thank you for joining us here. Always appreciate you coming on. But the biggest thing that I'm seeing though, Zach and Terry, is we are facing a nation now that is, I shouldn't say a nation. I should say media. The media is now trying to silence 75 million plus people, and the boiling point has come and go. Okay, when you get silenced just because you have an opinion, people just get angry, and the anger is justified. The anger is righteous. I don't care what your opinion is. I like your voice. I want to hear your voice, and we could disagree to all extents, but the second that voice gets silenced, we have issues. It's not a good thing.
No. No, I think even just agendas within news companies force them to say things, and
right.
Like, come on, man, just
right. The goddamn media.
Use your eyes and your brain.
But Terry, the folks that use their eyes and their brains and they watch the media that bends their news around their objective, around their agenda, these people's minds are going to be bended around that as well. Yeah. Every time that Donald Trump said this election was rigged, he was labeled a racist. Yeah. He was labeled a white supremacist, even though he said, no, I don't agree with all those. This is a bad election. But every time anybody in the conservative field in America talks out against the election, we're all of a sudden terrorists. We're bad people, and it has to end. That's got to end. Enough is enough. Yeah, and when will 75 million people out there agree that enough is enough? The media they have to be cut off. It's like if you go to the bar and you get too drunk, the bouncer's going to put an X on your hand, and he's going to escort you out the building. Well, I'm putting the X on the hand of the media. You're too drunk. Get the hell out. You're done. You were done 5 years ago. We need real news, real journalistic point of views, and it needs to be broadcast to people without an agenda behind it.
Absolutely. Whether you like it or not. Whether you like
That's
what
right.
they're saying or not. It doesn't matter.
That's right. Zach, go ahead, buddy.
If I could, I'd defund the media and give it to the law enforcement departments.
I agree, Zach. However, the media is backed by private individuals. Okay, it's not backed by public individuals. Okay, if once you start talking about public media that's funded by the public, you're talking about China and Russia that has their own state media. Okay, our media is backed by people like George Soros. Canada is the same way. Okay, the problem is that there is no accountability for the media nowadays, and as soon as you call out the media and their stupid shit ass antics, we're the ones that get in trouble. Okay, if you call out the media and say, okay, that's wrong, that is a false piece of information, that's fake news, oh, you're just a terrorist, you don't agree with us. And there lies the very bad rhetoric the media has brought down on the American people, and it needs to stop. I don't know what it means, but it needs to stop immediately. Is the media the same way down there in Canada, or up there in Canada, Terry?
I to be honest, I really don't watch a lot of Canadian media.
Gotcha.
Partly because it's usually stuff that they get from the States anyways. Nobody really wants to talk about how much of an idiot Trudeau is on the our national media, because the CBC is owned by the government of Canada.
Right. But that's government owned media.
Yeah. But another part of the government is the CRTC, the Canadian Radio and Television Commission. They dictate how much Canadian content we're allowed to have, even. Right?
Dude, I'm sorry. I think that fucking sucks.
Like a radio station, say during peak hours, like from 3 till 7 in rush hour, has to play a certain amount of Canadian content.
Dude, that's government overreach right there, Terry.
I mean, it's pretty loose in the way that it like, they play it like, if a band records an album in Vancouver, it's considered Canadian content, right?
What?
Yeah, like if the producer or sound engineer is Canadian, then it's Canadian content, not necessarily a Canadian band.
But Canada owns the rights to it.
Yeah, like they have to play, like, you have to play. That's why every day I hear so many Rush songs and Tragically Hip. And
dude, I understand where you're coming from, but Terry, that right there is the very definition of 1914 Russian Bolshevism. Okay, what's good for the goose is good for the gander, and everybody has to get on board with this. If you don't, we're going to silence your ass. You can't do that. In Canada, or now America, people better wake up to this shit. There is one reason why I love my country, is because I don't care where you come from. I don't care who you are. you have a voice. But the second that voice gets silenced because you disagree with another voice, we have issues.
Mm-hmm.
Come
Absolutely.
and go. Shout out, come and go. Thank you, come and go. Come and go, kiss my ass. Yeah, kiss my ass, come and go.
Oh, man.
You guys know what I'm talking about, but yeah, come and go. Get the hell out of here. Not gonna go off on that tangent, but I'm angry. No. But it's just another thing that people are being, what's the word I'm looking for? People are being installed in their brain to just follow the lead. Do this, do this, do this. Okay. And if you think outside the box, if you go without saying that you know what you're doing, people knock you down. And it's without saying too much.
Yeah.
Come and go. Yeah.
So yeah, one of the things I wanted to bring up, like I said, was the Mark Cuban deciding not to play the anthem before Mavericks games.
That's right. So un-American. And Scott, you're right. Scott's jumping in saying, Zachary, you're so inspiring, very inspiring. Always has been, always will be.
Mm-hmm.
And so are you, Scott. You coming on here, that's pretty inspiring, my friend. But talk about Mark Cuban, Terry. Tell everybody about what Mark Cuban, the Shark Tank guy, said or did or is doing.
Well, yeah, I didn't really watch a lot about it. I just thought it was an interesting thing, like he's refusing to play or stop not playing the national anthem before home games in Dallas.
Right. Right. And what and his justification is?
I don't know what is it. I think that's kind of up for debate.
No, I think Scott just said it. Mark Cuban is bought and paid for by China.
There we go.
What I mean, if you're Chinese and you're in China, do you want to hear the national anthem of America? But if you're in America, do you want to hear the Chinese national anthem? I'm going to tell you right now, Terry, I believe this with all my heart, but Mark Cuban, he is a communist Bolshevik all the way through. If you don't like our national anthem and you tell your people, and he owns that NBA team, don't even want to say it. I don't even like saying Mark Cuban's name now. He is so anti-American. I would love to see him go on a boat and float off to Antarctica. Go find a country that you could play their national anthem and be proud of. As for Americans, and I'm pretty sure you as well, Canadian as well, Terry, if you don't want to play our national anthem before a game, get the hell out of my country. I don't give a shit about you. I don't give a shit about your team. I don't give a shit about your players. It doesn't matter to me what you try to do as a multi-billionaire sitting on a yacht, smoking whatever you smoke, and have the nerve to say, we're not playing the national anthem in America before a game. And I don't care if it's a rule or not that you don't. For respect for our veterans, for respect for every single service member that fought overseas, you don't play that national anthem, go to Browntown in prison. I don't care.
One
Scott's
thought
coming
is,
in.
Yeah, the elites told him follow the line and lose. It's funny. Well, could.
I agree, Scott.
One thought that I've heard is it kind of takes, are you going to kneel for the anthem equation out?
Never kneel for the anthem. You know, my grandfathers, both of my grandfathers, fought in World War II. For the freedom of people to go ahead and kneel before an anthem, okay, you have that right as an American. You have that right to kneel. But I also have the right to look at you in your face and say, F off, double birds in your face. You know, I have a right to never buy your jersey. Matter of fact, I have a right to go on social media and say, you're a piece of shit. One of the things that happened during the NFL season, during all this BLM, all this Antifa stuff, and the kneeling, was Drew Brees, the quarterback of the Saints, came out and said, whoever kneels before that flag, you're wrong. And the backlash that came before Drew Brees was amazing. It was like he was bombarded, like it was Hiroshima and Nagasaki. And he got bombarded so much that he had to go back and retract what he said and apologize. Him apologizing for what he said about the players kneeling pissed me off. It's like, you said the right thing, Drew Brees. You just had 75 million people go, yes, you said it, Drew. You said
it. He gave his honest opinion.
He did.
That's kind of what this is all about, right? Like he gave his honest opinion. He got slapped in the mouth for it.
Not only slapped in the mouth, Terry. You're going to lose your job. He was called a white supremacist by so many people out there. You're a white supremacist because you believe that. Yeah. It was so infuriating to see the punishment that came down through the social media warriors, the keyboard warriors, and beat him up to a point where he had to come out and retract and apologize. And then he wore BLM on the back of his helmet because of it. But that one statement that he came out with was 100% spot on. He knew exactly what our veterans did for this country. Veterans did throughout all the world that fought for good versus evil, but he got knocked down for it. Why? Again, we're coming back to this. It's the damn Bolsheviks. The same thing happened in 1914 Soviet Union, and now it's happening here. They don't like you? Oh, you're a racist. They don't like you now? Well, because you're a nationalist. Well, I'm going to go off on the nationalist thing here in a minute, but just horrible what's going on throughout whatever we're facing.
Yeah, throwing a pandemic doesn't help.
The spam-demic.
Government's putting through ridiculous bills. Keep the economy going.
Yeah, I mean,
let's just print more money.
Right.
Why can't we just print more money?
Well, actually, Terry, there's a historical reason why America can print money. Is America owns the dollar to all the oil. So if you do any type of oil deals in Saudi Arabia, it could be Russia, it could be Israel, anywhere. It's what we call the petrodollar, which is based off the US dollar. And whoever owns that petrodollar is able to print off money at any given time. Okay? Canada doesn't own the petrodollar, America does. And so if you ever hear about somebody saying we're getting rid of the petrodollar, that's not good for America, because we can print, the government can print that dollar because they own that petrodollar. They own the rights. Every oil transaction has to be done in US dollars. Every transaction with oil. Okay, they have to convert it. And I say it's Saudi Arabia, Iraq, even Iran, Israel, Syria, Turkey, Russia, India. The list goes on. If you want that oil, it has to be converted into American dollars, hence the petrodollar. Guys, don't believe me. Look it up on Google. It's kind of scary if you ask me. This pandemic was a plan. Scott, I'm right there with you, buddy. It was planned, but now it's here. And what do we have to do as an NFL player, how do you take out another player? You have to be coached correctly. Okay. Go Bucks, by the way. Go Tom Brady. I'm glad they beat the KC. I'm glad KC got their asses whooped. But in order for you to fight stuff like this pandemic, you have to be coached correctly. But who's the American people getting coached by? It's the media. And so now we have a bunch of Tom Brady's and Tampa Bay Buccaneers running around out there not being coached correctly, while the evil, mean Kansas City media chiefs are beating us up. Okay, can anybody see my hatred towards the Chiefs?
A little bit. Just a little bit.
I hate the Chiefs.
Yeah, me too.
I'm glad they lost. Anyways. But that's where we're at. It's a media mindset that is shaping and forming the minds of people in America. And how do you fight that? How do you fight a media empire that consistently gives out horrible, bad, wrong, erroneous information? No, I do have an answer, but it's not pretty.
Well, it's the internet.
Ed, my buddy. Glad you're here, man. Wish you jumped in on this pod. I don't, but like I said, I don't understand why people are so just, okay, we're going to turn on our TVs, we're going to watch CNN, we're going to watch MSNBC, and we're just going to take everything they say as gospel.
Literal truth, yeah.
Literal truth, without thinking, without going and doing digging. And it's mind disturbing because everybody likes to compare Donald Trump to Hitler, but the true Hitler is the media. There we go, Ed. Not even going to say that out loud, but like I said, there are answers to prayers. We have in a second minute for a reason. It's just mind blowing. You know, seeing what happened in Russia in 1914, all the way, matter of fact, till now, is happening here in America, happening there in Canada. It's so disturbing that. Go for it, Zach.
I'm just to the point where I'm sick of these people who are trying to control us from not having our own beliefs and morals. And the Bolsheviks are actually messing up in the United States right now over this stupid-ass bullshit impeachment. It's going to fail because Trump will expose them for the bullshit they are doing.
I agree, Zach. I agree. Here lies the problem, and we could all get excited over, oh, Trump's going to do this or Trump's going to do that. Nothing's happened yet. My hope and inspiration and aspiration is that one day we will actually see the exposed side of that Democratic Bolshevik party. But when folks like AOC are running the show, hey Megan, how's it going? It's numbing to me. I'm so fed up. I'm on the Ed Farnish boat. I'm 100% in, dude. I don't understand how so many people out there could buy into a lie over and over and over again. Yeah.
Not even necessarily that, dude. Like just like buy into somebody else's opinion over and over and over again.
I agree.
Like, yeah.
Man,
didn't know that was the exact reason, but okay.
Well, if you think about it, I mean, what Scott's saying here, remember Gandalf was taken out so they can make a centralized bank. You really want to go the dragon side? He owned all the bank. He owned all the gold. Believe it or not, I could go off on that for a while, but
no, really?
No, not me. Not me, not ever. No. I just want to know, and if anybody out there could help me out, and please, please, please help me out. Since when is being a Bolshevik okay? And if you don't know exactly what a Bolshevik is, go Google what Bolshevism was and is today. It is the most heinous, evil thing perpetuated on the American people, on the German people, on the Russian people, on France, on England, on Canada, on South America. You name it, on Africa, South Africa. Bolshevism was the one thing that rotted morals, rotted, R-O-T-T-E-D, destroyed morals. And it's an ugly, ugly thing. But now it's being accepted. What is Bolshevism? Bolshevism is basically the aspect of human life is not worth human life. You're nothing but a dollar sign. And that's where we're at. That's where Russia was at. That's where England was at. That's where France was at. Believe it or not, that's where Germany was at prior to World War II. They saw Bolshevism making its way into Europe, and they said, we don't want nothing to do with that. And so we got to take it head on. I say both horns at one time, like a bull, and call a spade, and the Bolsheviks are the ones that are doing this to our country now. Plain and simple. And if people don't like to hear that, I'm sorry. Really, I'm not sorry. It's truth. It's very, very, very much truth. And I say enough is enough. Unless Terry says otherwise. Do you have a good hamburger joint down there?
Well, yeah, we got most of the ones you guys got.
Yeah, and see, all the hamburger joints we have here are owned by Bolsheviks. Wow, did I just say that? It's true. The McDonald's, the Burger Kings, the Taco Bells. Well, it's not a burger joint. That's all owned by Bolsheviks. Watch commercials. Constantly pounding in your mind, you need this, you need this, you need this. Right? I mean, you could be watching a really good show on Netflix. And even in that show you're watching, they're going to have a Coke or Pepsi commercial in that show. Why? Telling your brain, you need this, you need this, you need this.
Well, remember all the theories? I never saw where it was found if it was true, but like when you go to the movie theater, they put, you know, it's 24 frames per second, but they put that one little picture in there to make you want to go get popcorn.
That's right.
Yeah.
Subliminal messages. I'm not going the world,
no,
but my God, it's all over the place. You know, my kiddo, God bless her, Jaden, she's been on the show a couple times, and she watches Stranger Things. You know, the one thing she really, really likes from watching Stranger Things are the T-shirts they sell during the show. Dad, can you get me this T-shirt? Sure.
That's what you want.
Yeah, that's what they want. And it's just so, it's in your face, Terry. It's so in your face that, but if you try to speak out against it, what happens, Terry? What happens? What happens in Canada? What happens in here? Well, you know, we're gonna be basted.
I don't even get to watch American. Well, American commercials, but like when I'm watching a football game, when I'm watching like even the Super Bowl, I don't see the same commercials you guys do.
That's right. That's what you were saying. Which I'm pretty sure Canadian commercials were better than the ones that were played during the Super Bowl.
No, they're not.
No.
Ask Zach knows. He had a feed for one game where he had to watch Canadian commercials.
Man, I wish I'd said that. Go ahead, Zach.
The Queen's Gambit was good, but it had a lot of leftist ideas.
Well,
Yeah, but they're always going to be out there. You know that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, you just kind of got to deal with it. Oh, there's a big one.
All right, let me take this one, guys. Ed, thank you so much for coming in. And I'm going to tell all you guys here, Ed Farnish is my best friend here in Colorado. I love him to death. So there are too many puppets, even everyday puppets. The ones we run into on the way to work, the ones at work, and the way home. Nothing will change with the amount of puppets and puppets that are comfortable with their lives being run by the higher-ups, because no one can think for themselves anymore, along with the government not wanting us to think for ourselves either. Completely surrounded. And Ed, yeah, that's right. Sadly, I'm not even there. 3% of us that will stand up for our rights anymore. Ed, I think I know you're spot on, dude. And again, this should be a conversation you and I have together, not being live. But there are so many people, and I say so many, I say 75 million people out there that are sick and effing tired of being put into this freaking glass jar, okay? And all I can say is that I am glad I have somebody like Ed Farnish in my life. He's one of those ones that don't swing the bat on him. Bad idea. Mike A's coming in. The Super Bowl commercials here were awful. Whoop, guys, new here. Hey, Mike, thank you for coming in here.
Absolutely.
Mike, where are you from, buddy? You said the Super Bowl commercials there were awful. Where are you from, buddy? Love to hear it, man. Thank you for joining us. You know, that's awesome. Yeah. And Megan, one of my favorite people here. The commercials are ridiculous. Oh, okay. So there was a couple of them that kind of made me chuckle. You know, the one with John Travolta and stuff. I honestly thought that was funny as hell. But for the most part, they were so inclined to just be socially acceptable, if that is the right terminology for this. And it was horrible. Tennessee. All right, Mike, thank you. Coming from Tennessee. Love you, buddy. Love Tennessean folks. But those commercials, and kind of getting off track here, those commercials during the Super Bowl, yeah, there was a couple funny ones, and that's what they do. They make commercials funny at some point in time. And that one with Bruce Springsteen, it's like, dude, and the next day later, he gets hit with a DUI after his big old spiel on social injustice. It's like, oh my God, did you really just do that? And Scott's coming in, and yeah, okay, there you go. Bruce Springsteen commercial. Scott, you must have been reading my mind, brother, from the Super Bowl, because he was Rutherford. Dude, that's so spot on, man. Again, there is Bolshevism in and of itself, through and through. Somebody's having those strings, pulling those people and making their mouths go. Yeah,
wasn't it like a Jeep commercial or something?
Me too, Ed. Too. Yeah, it was a Jeep commercial.
Yeah. So yeah, did the car make him drink too much and get in it and turn the key? No, he did that himself.
Right. But it's just that whole mindset of, we are being inundated with sources that don't even know what they're talking about. You know, the media is telling us you have to think this way. Now commercials are telling us you have to think this way.
Yeah,
and
like they pull the commercial just because of that. Like,
right.
Oh, if it's a good commercial, it's a good commercial.
Right. Oh, it's warm. It's warm and fuzzy. It makes me feel good. And nobody ever goes out and looks behind, why was that commercial made? You know, and it's like the whole thing behind the media. They could call Donald Trump a inciter of riots, and people will believe it. But when you go back and actually look at his rhetoric of what he said, he never incited one single riot. But yet BLM and Antifa, they get nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize. You know, this fucking upside down world is driving me up the wall. and it's making 75 million Americans angry. That's right. We're being tested, Ed. We're being experimentally tested. And unfortunately, Ed, people like you and me, we failed their test. Why? Because we're not falling in line. F, come and go. I'll tell you guys the come and go story on another day. And yeah, Bruce Springsteen, all dolled out in leather cowboy boots, driving a Jeep with snow on the ground and on the top, trying to relate to the common folks like anyone does that.
You never been to come up to Canada, Mike, bro. We had a nickname for it when I was in high school called the AC/DC, when guys roll around town with their windows down, stereo cranked, heat cranked. Minus frickin' 20 degrees Celsius. So that's what, like, yeah, minus 10 Fahrenheit. Guys are rolling around town with their windows down. So
that's badassness right there. Oh, Scott, I got to tell all you guys, Scott right here is just kind of preaching my heart. He said, I never even fell in line at my job. And one of the things he's meaning by that is he's a human being and he speaks his mind, but at his job, he's not accepted. Why? Because he doesn't agree with some of the people he's around, just like me. I don't agree with 99% of the people around me, but I never disrespect them unless you disrespect me first. Come and go.
I'm fortunate enough to agree with, I don't know, about 86% of the people around me when it comes to politics. So I'm lucky that way.
Nice. Well, that's good, Terry. And that's what it should be. We should have an open monologue with folks. But Terry, you know as well as I do, and Zach, you know as well as I do. As a matter of fact, Zach, you more than anybody else. If they don't agree with you, we're the bad ones. We're now being called racist, terrorists. We're being called, treasonous because we don't agree with them. Come and go.
Come on.
I hate that company. Come on. I don't know what to say. They started it, Terry, not me.
I know. Hey.
So now I'm going to be out to badmouth them. I'm okay with that.
Well, yeah, and you have to go buy your smoke somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm okay with that too. I just definitely will not go and come with that company. I said I wouldn't do it, but I did it. I'm sorry.
Oh, you did. A little bit. A little bit's okay.
I went there.
Hey.
They started it. That's all I can say.
Well, you admitted to not having your mask on properly, sir.
Ooh.
What's up, Zach?
Zach, go ahead.
And especially people like me, others who think my voice doesn't matter could go screw themselves.
Go F themselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give him the finger. Zach, go ahead. You got my permission. Give him the finger. Yeah, hell yeah, right there.
It's exactly why we do this.
That's right. One of the things, though, Terry, and I'm going to tell you right now, Zach's voice, even though in a computer voice, speaks louder than all of our voices combined.
Absolutely.
Because we know where his heart is. My heart, your heart, his heart, we're all on the same wheel. You know, we all thinking the same thing. But Zach, he's one of those go get him. And there's one of the things I love about Zach is that if I ever have an issue, you know, may it be at the house, may it be, you know, political, Zach's the first one to say, hey, go punch him in the face. Yep. I know. You told me a couple times. One strong SOB, Zach is, that's for sure. And I want Zach on my dodgeball team, because if he could throw those balls the way he throws his hands, we're going to win every time. Yep, Ed, there you go. They keep it up. I tell you this much, they haven't seen anything yet. Again, Ed, when I get off this pod, you and I are talking. Oh, yay. Awesome. My cousin coming in. EJ. Look at Gina today with all the cancel culture. Oh, my Lord, the cancel culture. Dude, let me tell you, that, again, I could go off on this pod for another 2 hours on this one. This cancel culture has to end. It has to end. You know, it's just... About? You haven't seen it?
No.
All right. So without going into too much detail, once we get off, Terry, go look up Steven Crowder, Louder with Crowder. Just watch the first 10 minutes of his video on YouTube and you'll understand exactly what we're talking about. I just don't have enough time to go over this because it's effing ridiculous. And Mike, hey, yeah, let's all fight like Zach. Too many patriots sitting on their hands and too many patriots zipping their mouths. Too many patriots just typing on their keyboard. Let's be like Zach. Here, here.
Absolutely.
Here, Mike. Mike, I agree. I love it. Zach is definitely an inspiration to me, to Terry, and to everybody that watches him. And Scott coming in, I listen to you guys, and John B. Wells, and the Conspiracy Horseman on YouTube. Okay, Scott, one day you have to come on with us because I want to go on some of these conspiracies. It's kind of right up my alley. I love it.
Well, I kind of know what it is. I just checked out Wikipedia there. That's all.
Oh, did you? What'd you find?
Well, cancel culture is a modern form of ostracism in which someone is thrust out of social or professional circles, either online, on social media, in the physical world, or both. In the physical world or both. Are we not all in the physical world anyways, whether we're online? Is this the freaking Matrix or what? Like, nice,
all right, Scott, I'm going to hold you to that, buddy. You come on. You come on, man. I want you here. I want to hear you, and we'll just roll with it. Scott, not only you, but Megan, Aquila, Ed Farnish. Well, you already gave your name on, so I don't even care anymore. Ed, definitely, Ed, you come on. Josh Fox, you know, all these folks that are, they have different opinions, but we all kind of think the same. So I want you guys to come on, give your opinions, tell your opinions, and let's roll with it. I mean, it is a very fun forum.
Even if you don't think the same.
Right. It doesn't matter. I mean, this is a cool forum.
Just be honest. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let your this is kind of, you know, it's, you know, you might call it a bitch session, but
thank you, Ed. I know you will. Ed, I know you will. I'm going to get you on. If I have to come over there and gag you myself and tie your hands behind your back and undo the gag, you're coming on the show. Ed's been one of those ones that I've been wanting to come on for the show for a long time. But for everybody that would like to come on and talk about this, like we're talking about today, you know, the Bolshevik whole entire movement of Russia back then, how it's affecting us now, and talk about it. Bring in your ideas, bring in your thoughts. You know, if you had a bad time at Come and Go, let us know. You know, if you got screwed at Come and Go, let us know. I hate that place with a passion. If I could only go on for the next 15 minutes, y'all will be like, I'm never going to Come and Go again. Oh, did I say their name out loud? Ed said, whether I would have been on, it's just my job and it's crazy. Ed, I get it. I know your job is crazy. And we'll actually work around you, buddy, okay? Ed, we'll work around your schedule. Normally we do pods on Thursday and Saturdays. If you have like a day like Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Saturday, I totally went backwards on that. Let us know. We'll get you on. We'll go ahead and crank up a pod. It's just not that big of a deal to us. Just come on in, and we'll get you on. And you let it go, dude. Let it go.
Fire her up, man.
Fire her up.
Absolutely.
Zach, I'll tell you right now, there's been a couple times where I was like, I heard something on the news today. I fire up this damn pod right now. He's like, okay, give me 5 minutes. You know, and he did it. He did it within 5 minutes. And he said, I just left Come and Go for my Twisted Tea and did not wear a mask, but they were a little skeptical about telling a guy wearing the bulletproof vest and armed with more than one mask or one weapon to put the mask on. Dude.
That is.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to yell it from the mountaintops.
That is freaking awesome.
And so if anybody out there has kids, put their little muffler ears on, put the muffs on. Okay, I'm going to count it down right now. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fuck, Come and Go. Okay, it's out of my system. I gave you a countdown, okay?
Yeah, fair warning. Hey,
fair warning. True story. Ed, okay, so Ed, I'm going to tell you now, I'm talking to you right now. Sometime in the next week or so, will you go with me to the Come and Go on Vickers and Academy while this little girl, fat, whatever she is, manager, that called the cops on me today because I didn't have my mask on?
Just Duke, just don't call her an animal name because PETA says that's disrespectful to animals now.
Okay. What the hell?
You guys didn't hear that? Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's disrespectful to the walrus. No. You know, like if somebody snitches you out and call them a rat, that's disrespectful to the rat because they have feelings.
And Ed's gonna go with me. Oh my God. So that is your Friday night, Scott? Maybe. Okay, so let me put it to you this way.
We are in our 40s, Scott. We're in our 40s. Put it that way. Come on.
If Ed Farnish is up to doing this with me, I'll go live. So you can see why I keep saying Come and Go. Oh my God. And Mike A coming here. The Bolshevik Revolution. Sandy Alinsky's rules for radicals. Yes, that's right. Orwell's 1984, Venezuela, all just playing cards for the elite, happening all across the West. And I will take that one step further, Mike, the world right now. And without trying to sound like I am a true racist, the Bolsheviks are the worst type of human shit ever. I know what they're about. I've seen what they're about, and I know what they want to do. And that's why people say, well, communism sucks. Well, communism started with Bolshevism. You guys ever hear the term Bolshevism? Yeah, it's ugly. And Scott, you're 44. Cool. I'm 43, I think. 42. Yeah, I lost count after 40.
I'll be 45 sometime this year.
Yeah, 45, and you're looking like you're 20, dude.
Yeah. Just wait till I shave.
Oh jeez. I'm gonna shock the living hell out of you guys one day when I come on this pod and I have no facial hair. Yeah. You're gonna be like, who the hell is this guy? I'm the great Hambino. You're gonna look at me and be like, you're the guy off of Sandlight, aren't you? Yeah, I'm the guy off of Sandlight. Anyways, brothers, thank you for coming on. Everybody that came in, Ed, Scott, Aquila. Of course, I call it Aquila. I didn't see him here, but I love Aquila to death. You know, Megan, thank you so much. Everything that you guys come in and talk about, keep bringing it. Keep bringing it. Mike A, thank you for being a first-time listener, man. That's what we're after. And if any of you, any single one of you out there want to join this pod and get your voice out with your face seen, and sometimes that's hard, just let Zach know, man. We'll get you on, man or girl. It don't matter. We'll get you on. We want you on. We want to hear you. And just roll with it. It's all good. 42, but identify as 16.
Nice.
Mike, you identify as 16. Can I have that card? Because I think I lost that one a long time ago. All right, guys, I'm sitting here in the parking lot, says Ed, and Grinder's eating all my faves, but it's a treat for me and everybody else. Ed, thank you very much. We're going to get you on, dude. Like I said, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice, my friend. It's going to happen.
It's either that or get kidnapped.
That's right. And he may be a good big guy, but he doesn't have these guns. My guns are still over 20 inches. What you gonna do, brother, when I come down and kidnap you to put you on the pot? I love you, bros. Man, I love this whole community, this whole Patriot Pod thing. Let me tell you something. If it wasn't for the folks that watch us, we wouldn't have a pod. So God bless it. And Zach, you above all people, man, God bless you, man. We love you.
The producer and host.
That's right. In the words of Bret Hart, Zach is the best he is, the best he will be, and the best that there will ever be.
Canadian.
So for that,
Bret Hart, Canadian.
Bret Hart, yeah, he's Canadian for sure. Oh, look at that, even Ed coming in. Great job, Zach, tonight. All right, brothers, we'll go ahead and kick it loose. Yeah, I got to be up at 3 a.m. I love you, brothers. I love you, fam.
Love you guys too.